Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Republicans successfully taking away rights from women again. Just weeks before the election, voters around the country, but in Georgia and Texas especially, have been reminded of the lengths to which Republicans will go to take away the rights of women in this country. This reminder couldn't have come at a worse time for the GOP, who is currently facing criticism for its unwillingness to return to pass supplemental aid funding and its inability to pass a budget to begin with. Republicans can't fulfill basic duties under the Constitution of the U.S. House of Representatives, but they can sure pull together a nationwide push to take away the rights of women and sustain it in the face of ever-increasing criticism. Starting off in Georgia, the GOP saw success in restoring the near-total ban on abortions after 6 weeks. 6 weeks is before many women even know they're pregnant. The ban had an injunction placed against it, and that injunction basically allowed the procedure up to 22 weeks or so. Republicans in Georgia were actually handed a pass by the courts on this, but they refused to accept it. They could have just said, "Oh well, we tried," to the extreme portion of their base, and tried to let the political backlash fade away. Instead, they pushed the issue and moved to make certain that women in the state are reminded of how little the Republican Party thinks of them. Obviously, people will want to know when the ban will go back into effect. It already did. I guess they didn't want us getting any fool notions of bodily autonomy. So the ban went back into effect at 5 p.m. on the same day the order came down. Over in Texas, one of the country's most restrictive laws will continue with a prohibition against emergency abortions to protect the mother. Despite the Biden administration's pleas, the Supreme Court of the United States allowed a lower court ruling to stand that blocked women from getting an abortion even when they're at risk. The justices didn't provide detailed reasoning for their decision. The decision was somewhat of a surprise because earlier this year, the Supreme Court decided differently in a similar case about Idaho. I'm not a lawyer, but it appears that Texas was able to successfully argue that since their ban doesn't have an exemption in cases where there is serious risk to the health of the patient, the pregnant patient, their ban was different and should be allowed to be enforced fully. Keep in mind, back in June, a medical board in Texas refused to list what exceptions are appropriate. Women in Georgia and Texas should pay particular attention to those developments as their rights are whittled away. It should be acknowledged by women all over the country that this is the trend, and Republicans are pursuing this even after all of the political backlash. They're counting on you to forget that they took away your rights. They're counting on you to think it's over. They're counting on you to get complacent and allow them to be voted back in. If they get away with this, despite all of the public outcry, they will not stop. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.